Okay, so what we got here is we believe we have a tank. It says R22 and it's got air mixed in with it. So I can confirm that. We haven't done anything to this tank. It's been stable for a while and it's been sitting at room temperature. So knowing that it's been sitting at room temperature, when I look at it with the thing, it's about 70. When I look at it with the thermometer, it's about 70 degrees. So that should line up somewhere with one of these pressures if it's just regular refrigerant. So when I look at 70 degrees, if it's one of these refrigerants, one of these pressure numbers will come up when I hook up the gauge. So I'm going to hook up the pressure gauge to it, to the vapor valve on the tank. And we're reading about 300 psi. So 300 psi has nowhere on this chart of refrigerant. 300 psi has nowhere on this chart, doesn't line up with any of them. So what we have here is you have liquid refrigerant, R22. I know there's R22 in here. But what happens is it's filled with liquid about to here. And then you have a mixture of the refrigerant vapor above the liquid, and then above that, because the refrigerant's heavier than air, we've pressurized it with air. So we got all these air molecules. And there's a couple tips to get the refrigerant out so that we can leave the air and the vapor refrigerant mixture in the tank. And what we're going to do is we're going to suck all the liquid out. Quiet. We're going to suck all the liquid out. All right, we're going to suck it all out from the bottom here because this one handle has a dip tube that extends down to the bottom of the tank like that. So we can pull the liquid out. Another trick is some people like to try and just vent off the air off the top. But the problem is once you purge this right here like that and you start venting, you are getting mostly air, but the refrigerant and the air is mixing together. So you are releasing some refrigerant as well. So the best way to do it is to get the vapor off the bottom, have it sucked through a recovery machine. And you don't even really need a set of hoses, gauges to do this. You can just use some hoses. So we'll go ahead and we're going to hook it up. Might want to come around over here to the liquid side. I'm just going to use one hose to the suction port or the inlet of my recovery machine. And because we're going to do liquid, I'm going to switch it from the vapor to the liquid. If I was recycling, I'd put a filter dryer in line. But we're just going to take it from one tank and put it into another. So I hook it up to the liquid, and then the discharge will go to the other tank. And then I want to make sure that we don't go over the 80%. So we're going to put a scale under this tank after I set up the hoses. So I hook this one up to the discharge. We're going to set that for recover, and then we're going to set this one up to the vapor side. And the vapor, even though we're recovering liquid, the liquid will just drop down to the bottom of the tank. But again, I want to make sure that we are not exceeding our 80% rule, so I'll use our digital scale, turn it on, tare it, so it starts off at 0, and then we can put our refrigerant drum on it. Now the weight is not just the refrigerant. The weight is the tank, the weight of the actual metal for the tank, and the refrigerant combined. So I have to look on the side here to find the tank weight, the TW number, and it says TW over here. Should be about 28 pounds. 24 pounds, 24.6. So 24.6 minus about 42, we've got about 26 pounds of refrigerant. So 26, is that right? 42, no, 16 pounds of refrigerant. So we got about 16 pounds of refrigerant. So we got plenty of room. We can fill it up to 40 pounds. So I got 34 pounds left. So we're just going to watch the weight. Make sure that it doesn't go above 40 plus the tank weight, which is 64. So that's the magic number. If this gets right around 64, we need to shut it down and get another tank. So we're going to go ahead and open up the liquid. And now I want to purge before I open up this tank here. So we're going to purge it through, and you'll see how much vapor comes out that's air before we get liquid. Once the liquid comes out, then I know I've purged it out. We're not getting any liquid yet. She's got a lot of air in there. There's the liquid there. She's 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. There we go. She's boiling off. All right, so we're ready to go. We go ahead and turn on the machine. Open the tank. Let it suck out as much liquid as we can. Now, this could take a little while. So once I feel that we don't have any more liquid in the tank, then we can go ahead and just blow the rest of the refrigerant air mixture. It's almost like a trace gas. You can't recover the air, but we can recover the liquid. She's going up about 2 ounces a second, and about 1 ounce a second. Once it's done, simulate it being done, say we got all the liquid, shut the valve off here. The recovery machine will go down to the vacuum level it's supposed to before it says recovery is complete, but we're not done. We still have 200 pounds of pressure in this hose. So I'm going to set this to off. We'll set this to purge, and that will use a little bit of the gas to push whatever remains liquid out of this hose until it gets down to the level. Gets down to 10 inches of mercury. This one should be 10 inches because it was made after 93, and we're doing R22 less than 50 pounds, less than 200 pounds. So that's it. It's done. Now I can shut off all the tanks and we can connect everything, disconnect everything, and put it all away. So that's how you get the liquid out.